A dismal start to York's three-day Dante meeting. Rain set in during the morning, continued all afternoon. The ground was officially soft for the 7-race card. First of the group races was the Duke of York at 3:30. Brando was all the rage at 5-2.
Ready to race now. And they're off, dispatched over 6 furlongs for today's feature, the Duke of York Clipper Logistic Stakes, Group 2. Name it what you like in the red jacket, got away to a great start. Suedois on the far side in the grey colours as well. Wider to the right than the white cap of Comicas, being trapped there by the Tin Man. On the near side, also sitting handy as well as Jungle Cat, just tracking Name It What You Like together with Brando in the yellow and purple halved sleeves there, just taking a good stronghold in the early stages. Growl on his outside with Magical Memory. Tasleet is next. Mobster a bit taken off his feet, and Tupi is last, and Redley outpaced, it would seem, but they're going very quick up front as they go past halfway. Name It What You Like, taken on the far side by Comicas, and the white cap between them is Suedois. Brando is poised there with every chance for Tom Eves, now shaken up. Near side Growl, Magical Memory with a challenge for Frankie Dettori. Brando struggling, it would seem. Up towards the final furlong they come here, and 4 in a line. Magical Memory, last year's winner, is coming through strongly with Tasleet on the far side, who's also finishing off well. Comicas between horses. Tasleet in front here for Jim Crowley inside the final half furlong, and making up for lost time here. Tasleet goes on to win the Duke of York by about 2.5 lengths. Magical Memory in second, Comicas next, then Mobster, and the Tin Man back in 5th.
Tasleet, Jim Crowley, 14-1. Magical Memory, also 14-1, was second, and Comicas at 25-1 was third. Non-runner 5 and 12 ran. Tasleet was wearing cheek pieces for the first time, was down in trip, and his stamina really came to the fore late on as he powered through. He could well make up for lost time as a 4-year-old in top company. Last year's winner, Magical Memory, made an excellent defence of his crown, especially as he would have preferred better ground. Favourite Brando reportedly bled.
Jim Crowley's got a beaming smile on his face, and Jim, you must have felt pretty good about 2 furlongs out, because you were still cantering.
Yeah, I wanted to follow Brando and got a nice toe into the race, but unfortunately they were all stopping in front of me rather quick, and I just needed a bit of room, and that was the only sort of concern. But when I switched him out, he really took off. Did you
expect that acceleration?
Well, the thing is, when you're sort of travelling so well and he was doing it so easy, you always hope they pick up. But we were a little bit unsure about the ground. But like I said, it's very wet, and they're going through it. It might be different if it was sticky ground, but he picked up really well, considering.
Jim, there were some good horses in that race, a lot of horses with potential to be the best champion or the champion sprinter this season. This has put him right in the mix. How good is he now, do you think?
It's hard to say. I've only sat in him once. All his best form was over 7 furlongs, and like I said, obviously coming back to 6 furlongs, and places like Ascot would really suit him, where you could hold on to him, and yeah, he's exciting.
Well done.
Thank you.
William, coming into today's race, could you have predicted a performance like that?
No, because I've always seen him for 3 years as a fast ground horse, so I was upset with the rain, although the ground is so thirsty everywhere in the country that everyone's delighted with the rain. They just didn't want it today, but he clearly revelled in it.
And the way he travelled as well today was a revelation.
Yeah, he's been in really good form at home, and he ran well. I wanted to run him in the Abernant, and he got an abscess just at the wrong time, and his foot, and he couldn't run, which was unfortunate, but that happens. And then we ran him at Leicester over 7, but I've been nagging to come back to 6 for a while, and this obviously is a nice race to do it in.
What has he always showed you, that he had the sort of speed that could turn him into a horse like a contender for all the top sprints?
Well, he's always been a good horse. He was a talented 2-year-old, and then he won the Greenham as a 3-year-old, and then had the setback. So he was pretty difficult to criticise as a 2-year-old. He won the sales race here. He got beaten the shortest of short heads in a Group 3 at Newmarket over 7. So he's versatile, but he's got stronger, and he looks physically like a sprinter now. He's not very big, but he's a strong, and he's very genuine.
Saw the reaction as he walked back into the winners' enclosure. You met him, and know that you do enjoy the winners, but there was a special beaming smile about this success. Any particular reason?
Yeah, because he's a he's a charming horse, and he wasn't a very expensive horse, 50 grand or something. Angus bought him at Doncaster, or Goffs UK, whatever they call it now. And he's always been a thoroughly likeable, pleasing horse. Wants to please, leads the string, leads the gallop if you need him. He never disappoints, and he deserves a big one. And obviously my job now as a trainer of lots of horses is to try and produce stallions, and hopefully he's on the way now, and he'll get a place at stud and enjoy the good things in life when his racing is over.
Hopefully there'll be a Group 1 or 2 on the way next. The Diamond Jubilee, I imagine, will be next one?
Yep, that's exactly the race for him now. And I suppose if it dries up, I'll say it's going to be too firm for him, but we'll see how we go. But that's the obvious race now. We've got to try and make him a Group 1 winner. And I think I put him in the July Cup, although he hates Newmarket. I can't remember whether I did or I didn't. But he doesn't like this bit, or he doesn't appear to handle it as well as he might do. And we'll look to France, anywhere where his Group 1 stays. The Maurice de Guise in Deauville will be perfect.
William, thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you, Rishi.
And the Tattersalls Musidora saw Shutter Speed allowed to take a chance, for which he was sent off at 7-4 on.
They're off. Miss Infinity broke out of the stalls very quickly indeed for the Tattersalls Musidora Stakes, this Group 3 race over this extended mile and a quarter. Looking across from the outside is James Dahl on Vintage Folly. He's going to tuck in behind Miss Infinity. Shutter Speed the favourite, 2 lengths away back in 3rd place. Just a little bit keen in the early strides, with in 4th Serenada, and Vociferous Marina, and Kevin Manning at the back of the field is about 6 lengths behind the pace-setting Miss Infinity as they go past the mile start over on the far side of the Knavesmire. Just steadying it in front then a bit is Ryan Moore. Leads by a length then to Vintage Folly in 2nd. Shutter Speed close up behind in 3rd place, the odds-on favourite, with 2 lengths then back to the pale blue and yellow colours of Serenada, and Vociferous Marina bringing up the rear as they continue down towards the final 3/4 of a mile here in the Tattersalls Musidora of 2017. All 5 fillies travelling comfortably enough. Miss Infinity, ears pricked, will lead them down the side of the course. Now getting a little bit closer is Vintage Folly, within about half a length of the pace setter now. Covering them in 3rd then is Shutter Speed as they begin to approach the home straight. And then comes Serenada, and at the back there Vociferous Marina in the hands of Kevin Manning. So down they come into the home straight. They're approaching the final half mile. They're racing down the centre of the race course. Vintage Folly on the near side, drawing alongside Miss Infinity, the pink cap behind them of Shutter Speed as they continue to travel down to the final 3 furlongs. Covered up still Vociferous Marina, and switch to the inside now is Serenada. The pace is beginning to quicken now as they approach the final 1/4 mile. Shutter Speed over on the far side, coming through very strongly. Serenada's trying to go with her on the near side, every chance. Vintage Folly as they quicken up to the final furlong now. Frankie Dettori's asking Shutter Speed to put this race to bed. She leads by about 2 lengths from Vintage Folly in 2nd place. Then Serenada. Vociferous Marina has gone 4th. Shutter Speed being kept up to her work inside the final 75 yards. And Shutter Speed comes home to win the Musidora. A 5th Musidora for Frankie and a 6th for John Gosden. Vintage Folly was in 2nd, Serenada 3rd, Vociferous Marina, and last to finish Miss Infinity.
Shutter Speed, Frankie Dettori, 7-4 on favourite. Vintage Folly, 12-1 was 2nd, and all 5 ran. And although not blindingly impressive, Shutter Speed did enough to confirm her status as a potentially top 3-year-old filly in what was really a slowly run race. The Prix de Diane was nominated as her next likely target. Vintage Folly, having only her 2nd run, kept the winner honest, and she too could be a force to be reckoned with in 2017.
Frankie, immediately after the race, people are talking about the Oaks at Epsom compared to the Diane. Which one are you feeling as you got off her?
Well, the ground was very tested today, what she hated. But I must say, I hit the line. I wasn't actually flying off the line. I think that was just about it. Mile and a quarter to me be an ideal. But it's not my decision. Obviously, we go in Able, where we know she stays very well. So I would say the sensible thing to do is one goes to France, one goes to Epsom. But you know, we still got 2 or 3 weeks. Many decisions going to be made, and I'm sure His Highness Prince Khalid, John, and Lord Greenthorpe going to decide. But like you saw it yourself, the last 50 yards we were both. I wasn't tired, but she was, blessed her. She had to carry me.
Was she still a little bit buzzy in the early part of the race?
Nah, not too bad actually. What she does, she feels things in the face, so she flicks her head a little bit. But that's her character. So, but what looks like she's keen, she's actually not.
Frankie, thank you. John Gosden has just seen Shutter Speed come home in the Musidora, another win in the race. John, what did you make of her performance today?
Look, as I said, the ground was in pristine condition before racing. Absolutely the best condition of any course I've seen in Europe this year. It's a pity it's rained so much. It was very, very soft, very testing. She therefore hated that very soft ground, but she had the class to win the race. One thing's for sure, I was told Frankie she was a 1.25 mile filly. He said after Newbury she'd go 1.5 miles. He got off, he said, you're right, she's a 1.25 mile filly. So look, she's got the job done on her class, hands and heels. And we have a month and a couple of days before the Prix de Diane.
And the other 2 fillies, Enable and Coronet, would be the ones that will head to Epsom?
Yes, Coronet's always been screaming out for 1.5 miles and finished very well in the Prix Saint-Hilaire. I was mighty impressed with the winner, who will probably go to the Prix de Diane as well. So we've got a good British consignment coming over. And Coronet will go there, and Enable ran, I thought, a proper trial at Chester, and she's a Nathaniel out of a lovely mare called Concentric, so I think 1.5 miles right up her alley.
And with regards to Shutter Speed, John, do you think, obviously 1.25 miles seems to be the general consensus now, any chance she might get further later on in the year?
I think she's blessed with so much speed. Her second dam, Prophecy, I trained who won the Cheveley Park. She was the dam of Arabesque, dam of Camacho and Showcasing, who's just sired a Group 2 winner here over 6. The pedigree says, you know, Dan Silly to that is 1.25 miles. Yeah.
John, thank you very much for your time. Well done.
And a look at the winners. Some big prices in amongst a couple of 2 or 3 winning favourites. Doubles for trainer William Haggis with Tasleet and Battered. And champion jockey, in fact, Jim Crowley, also Tasleet and Santry. Well, the ground didn't appear to be too bad to start off with, but the rain definitely got into the ground by mid-afternoon, and later on the times recorded were genuinely that of very soft ground.